All right, we are live from Chapel Hill, North Carolina at the matchup between the Arkansas Razorbacks and the North Carolina Tar Heels alongside Tommy Kraft. I'm Ty Richardson. And Tommy, we got a unique little setup today. I'm watching people walk in, and, man, there is a lot of red here in Chapel Hill. Thanks to the communications director, Gary, and Gary, if I apologize, I'm saying your last name wrong, Pensecki.
I don't think he's listening.
Yeah, I don't think he's listening. He's probably working. We're on the kind of the back end concourse between the direct front entrance to the Bosch, as they call it here, and the practice facility, Tommy, for the football team. So this is we could not have asked for a better setup here on Arkansas game day this morning.
Yeah, and Arkansas and North Carolina get things going this morning. It'll be a full day of baseball after half of the super regional field began yesterday. There was obviously a big upset that we'll get to, but two what appear to be, at least on paper, evenly matched teams crank up today's action with the Razorbacks and the Tar Heels.
Yeah, and it's going to be a great series this week. And I was talking to a couple of people within the North Carolina program, and Tommy, I think we're in for a treat. I would be very surprised one way or another if this thing did not go 2-3 games. The good thing about this weekend, y'all, is we'll have all the games right here on most of these ESPN Arkansas stations, plus hitthatline.com, in addition to Arkansas Game Day today, Hog Reaction today, also Arkansas Game Day tomorrow, and on for Hog Reaction as well. So we've got your full coverage right here, ESPN Arkansas, and hitthatline.com. And, Tommy, we would not be live in Chapel Hill without a couple of our great sponsors.
Yeah, all three of them. Oaklawn Racing Casino Resort. More excitement, more winning at Oaklawn Racing Casino Resort by Crane Kia of Fayetteville. Find your next gas saver during the MPG days at Crane Kia of Fayetteville, and by the great people at North Arkansas Regional Medical Center in Harrison. They bring better to you.
We've got a loaded show for you this morning as we are about 25 minutes out from Phil Elson and Bubba Carpenter's pregame. Now, Tommy, I've not seen Phil just yet, but Bubba just walked right by me. Apparently, he had a little bit of a flight issue with the airport he was arriving in, so I'm glad he's here because you're going to get some great insight from Bubba and some great play-by-play from our guy Phil. And the thing about this matchup today is Arkansas. I was asking Connor Nolan about this yesterday. We had a chance to speak with Connor Nolan, Jalen Battles, and Dave Van Horn. And Connor had told us prior to the Stillwater Regional, he's like, guys, no one on this team player-wise has ever played postseason baseball on the road outside of Hoover. So we're looking forward to this. And you saw that, yes, it was a road game, but there was a good number of fans here. I think you'll see a good number of fans here today for being as far away as. But that team was able to rally around the idea that, no one expects us to come out of this region. We ended the season so poorly. Now you've had more people jump on the train, and they're going to try and use that same energy, that same mystique that helped them in Stillwater to do the same thing in Chapel Hill, Tommy.
Well, clearly this team had refocused between Hoover and Stillwater, and there were some things external to the program that went on. We'll leave it there that may have refocused a player or two, in particular a catcher, and he had the regional of his life. Caden Wallace had the regional of a lifetime, and defensively, for the most part, there were a play or two you could point to in Stillwater. They made some outstanding plays in the field. So you need quality pitching. You'll not have the wind. At least that's what the forecast was to probably alter the game and the plan from the pitchers like you did in Stillwater. But, if you can throw strikes and get them over, I think Arkansas has got a very good chance to punch their ticket to their 11th College World Series.
One of the things I asked about from Dave Van Horn yesterday is just how much more comfortable do you feel having a guy on the mound that's been around for a while? You think back to 3 years ago with Isaiah Campbell, 4 years ago with Blaine Knight. He's now got Connor up there, and that gives him some just more comfort. And he did say yesterday, Tommy, that Connor Nolan is going to be the starter. And he was very close to the vest when addressing any of the other pitchers. Bob was trying to get it out of him, and Dave was just chuckling and would not give and be forthcoming with any more information. But that Connor's on the bump today to start, and then you're just going to see what happens out of the pen from there. You would love a similar circumstance to what you saw in the Stillwater Regional when you just pounded initially Grand Canyon and were able to save a lot of your bullpen for those later games. If Connor can get off to a hot start today and maybe give you 6, heck, if he gave you 7, that'd be a dream. That'd be pretty special to see something for a guy that had an outstanding starting outing last weekend in Stillwater.
And you might get an answer following today's game. Here's the thing I would wonder about the pitching strategy for the weekend. Does who you start tomorrow change whether you win or lose in game 1? And that would be something that only Dave could answer. And I don't know. Would you go differently, knowing that a win puts you in your 11th College World Series, and for Dave, a 7th College World Series at Arkansas? Do you have a different answer if you know your back's pressed to the wall and it's do or die seasons on the line? That to me would be interesting if you could crawl in the mind of Dave Van Horn, who these computer models that they run, these simulations, and run thousands and thousands of games and determine a winner. That's what his mind's doing all the time with every play, every inning, playing the game out. So I wonder what his computer between the ears has said, what he does tomorrow based on the outcome of today.
It's really unique to watch Dave Van Horn in practice. We had the privilege yesterday to kind of stand legitimately on Bryson Field 10 yards away from the players, taking BP, Tommy, doing several fielding drills and the various things they did in the 90 minutes that the NCAA allows them to practice. And Dave kind of just immerses himself at center field and in front of all of it. This guy is always thinking about strategy. And like you just said, if a loss or a win occurs today, how does that strategy change? That's something I don't know the answer to. Really, Tommy, the only one that can know the answer to, that would be Dave Van Horn.
Yeah, I remember years ago we were setting up when Chuck Barrett was doing an afternoon show on our stations, and we were setting up from Baum Walker, or what was it, just in Baum, and Dave's running laps around the warning track, lap after lap it was an hour. I said, man, didn't he going to wear himself out for the night's game? He goes, he's not out there to run. He's out there to think. He said he's running the simulation of this game through his head. He's going by every pitch, every play, and that's the way a baseball man does it. I mean, he's constantly probably thinking about all the scenarios and what happens if I do this, what decision I'm going to make if I end up in this situation. I'm sure he spent a lot of days thinking about in this past week, every scenario of this super regional.
Yeah, he's got a number of things that he has to consider and think about, and you love to see this team to get off to a hot start, but if they aren't able to do that, we've seen the bats wake up before, and you just hope that this team is able to navigate what happens. We know it's a lot more difficult to adjust on the road than it is at home, but we saw, again, this team really in a number of different ways do it against Oklahoma State. What stood out to me was the defense in the game number 3 against the Cowboys. And that was something I asked, I think I was asking Jalen Battles about yesterday is, you look at the first 2 games between the Cowboys and the Razorbacks, Tommy, all offense, right? Pitching just wasn't going either team's way. And then all of a sudden in game number 3, you had some plays from Robert Moore. You had that Caden Wallace play that is just such an incredible IQ play where, and I'm forgetting the guy's name, the guy that was hitting bombs all over the place, he got hit in the shin, and so he was hobbled. He couldn't get to second base in time, so Caden threw him out, which is just
McLean is who you're thinking about.
Yeah, and just
or third baseman.
Just such an intelligent play, and it's so I was talking to Phil about that yesterday. It's so difficult to make, but that was the difference. Was the fielding defense from Caden Wallace, Jalen Battles, and Robert Moore in Game 3 of the battle between the Cowboys and the Razorbacks, and then Payne Stovall nabbing him and making plays. He was also just cranking the ball all weekend long, really starting to adjust and see it better. So here's some guys that, again, they've been here before, and for some of them it's their last hurrah, so why not make the most of it and send yourself to Omaha after this weekend?
But don't kid yourself. North Carolina's been in this spot before. They are a tremendous baseball program, and they've gotten hot as of late. They've kind of had a different flow to their season, 15-15 in the ACC, which we saw yesterday, Ty, no slouches in the ACC. Notre Dame goes in and takes care of Tennessee, pretty well handles them in that ball game. It tightened up late, and Louisville gave A&M all they wanted. So, it'll be interesting to see how some of these ACC, SEC matchups, and this one in particular to lead off the day, stack up today because The ACC pretty well held their own against the SEC yesterday, winning each league winning one of those games yesterday in super regional action.
877-377-6963, the number 2 caller text in this morning. What do you think about this matchup today? What do you think about the super regional this weekend? We are live from Chapel Hill at the Bosch. Call in, text in, do whatever. More Arkansas Game Day is coming up.
You're listening to Arkansas Game Day live at the Chapel Hill Super Regional.
See more and do more in a new 300 Series compact track loader from New Holland. Its industry-leading 360-degree visibility is truly something to see. At Williams Tractor, now
Listen
WT
to every
equipment in
Razorback
Springdale
football game
with its
this
reverse
season
camera
right
and
here
8-inch
on
multifunction
ESPN
LCD display.
and
Super Ribbon technology,
hitthatline.com.
rock-solid stability, and redesigned controls. You'll work with greater speed, safety, and precision. Maximum productivity starts with a clear view. Stop by WT equipment in Springdale today.
Razorback
See how a
football
new
game.
300 Series compact track loader helps you do more.
Your home for every Razorback football game.
You hear that? You hear that? That's special.
Only on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
Dads are special, so don't forget Dad this Father's Day at Sody's Wine and Spirits. Sody's has hard-to-find premium bourbons and whiskeys, the largest selection of craft beers with over 600 to pick from, and fill up a growler for Dad this Father's Day. And for the wine aficionados, the largest and best selection of wines in town. Everyone loves Sody's, especially your dad. Experience different at Sody's Wine and Spirits, Phoenix Avenue at I-540 in Fort Smith, and online at mysodys.com.
When was the last time you looked forward to seeing the dentist? Well, if it's been a while, or if you haven't had the best of experiences with dentistry, meet Marcy Van Ash McKinney Family Dentistry. Give her a call at 494-7600. They'll take care of it all. Crowns, bonding, dentures, bleaching, and cosmetic dentistry. Marcy Van Ash McKinney Family Dentistry at 807 South 21st. Call for an appointment today. 494-7600. That's 494-7600.
Barrels and Brews Bottle Shop at the Hub in Chaffee Crossing has everything you need as we head into summer. Try Blue Note Single Barrel Bourbon with store pickup. It's our 1 year of being open anniversary bottle. Enjoy this bourbon or choose from a fine selection of quality bourbons and whiskeys throughout the store. Wine Wednesday every Wednesday. Hit the cooler for some of the coldest beer in town. All this and more at Barrels and Brews Bottle Shop at the Hub in Chaffee Crossing. Visit us online at barrelsandbrewsfs.com.
You know the Sunbelt Chemical and Equipment in Fort Smith is your go-to shop for everything pressure washers. But did you know that they also handle your industrial pump and supply needs too? It doesn't stop there. Sunbelt Chemical and Equipment's industrial vacuum trucks can handle dry, liquid, and even sludge removal from several hundred feet away. Leave the cleanup to the professionals. Contact Sunbelt Chemical and Equipment at 782-3762. That's 782-3762. Sunbelt Chemical and Equipment, 3116 Wheeler Avenue in Fort Smith.
Van Alma Tire Center is always right around the corner from you with all the major brand tires for you to choose from. Bridgestone, Firestone, Cooper, and more. Turn into Van Alma Tire Center for all your tire needs, alignments, oil changes, brakes, and more. With service you can depend on. Van Alma Tire Center is your one-stop shop for all your vehicle and tire needs. Right around the corner at 6805 Alma Highway, 5 miles east of Van Buren and 2 miles west of Alma.
Arkansas Fuel Injection in Fort Smith has been providing quality work for all new and rebuilt diesel pumps and injectors for over 25 years. They are a certified diesel shop with a team of quality technicians that ensure the highest quality workmanship and warranties all their work. They are open Monday through Friday 8 to 5 and has emergency service available 24 hours a day. For all your diesel pump, fuel injection, and parts needs, stop by Arkansas Fuel Injection, 6300 South 29th Street, Fort Smith. Call them today at 1-800-817-7709. Arkansas Fuel Injection.
Building a home can be stressful. This is true whether you're the homeowner or the contractor. Many times these issues result in a lawsuit. If you are a homeowner or a contractor and find yourself needing legal help, call the attorneys at Kevin Hickey Law Partners. With experience representing homeowners as well as non-payment or other issues that could arise during construction. Contact Brad Hull or Kevin Hickey at 479-434-2414 in the River Valley or 479-802-6560 in Northwest Arkansas. Or check them out on the web at artriallawyers.com.
Make sure you have everything you need this weekend or any day at Four Corks Wine and Spirits. Choose from a wide selection of bourbons and whiskeys, craft beers, and a great selection of the coldest imports in town. Take advantage of the walk-in humidor for an A-list selection of cigars, or enjoy the elegant, climate-controlled wine cellar of hand-selected wines. It's all here at Four Corks Wine and Spirits, just past the intersection of Mazard and Zero Street towards Ben Guerin Park. Four Corks Wine and Spirits.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. This is Arkansas Game Day live at the Chapel Hill Super Regional.
And Battles hits a drive to left field. You gotta get out of here times 4.
ESPN Arkansas and HitThatLine.com's exclusive coverage on the road to Omaha is brought to you by Crane Kia of Fayetteville. Find your next gas saver during our MPG days. Oaklawn Racing Casino Resort. More excitement, more winning at Oaklawn Racing Casino Resort. And by North Arkansas Regional Medical Center, bringing better to you.
I'll tell you what, Tommy, we could not ask for a more beautiful day here in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. The fans have started to make their way to the Bosch. That's what it's called. It's Bryson Field at Boshemer Stadium, and they just call it the Bosch here. That's right, the Bosch?
The Bosch.
The Bosch. So we're, I think that's
the Hogs want to be the boss at the Bosch today.
That's the plan, but
Yep.
it's a beautiful day out here, Tommy. The sun is shining. There was an expectation we might have some rain. I don't think we're going to see it, hopefully. Now, maybe I haven't looked at the radar just recently, but it is a great day here. We got a great day for some baseball, and we are happy to be here with your pre- and post-game coverage.
We've had a few texts already this morning wanting to know about the TV announcers, and Mike Morgan and Gabby Sanchez will have the game on the TV for you. But here's the pro tip today. Go to hitthatline.com and match it up. So if you have a smart speaker, match that up with your TV. So tell your Alexa or tell your Google Play Nest or whatever you've got, hey, play ESPN Arkansas, and then you can pause your DVR to match up with Phil and Bubba right here on ESPN Arkansas. So that's the way to enjoy the game today is hitthatline.com on your smart speaker, pause it up on your TV, and you'll be matched up to watch the game the right way with Phil and Bubba today.
I know Phil's happy to be excited to be here. I was just saying that Bubba actually was walking by and chatting with me a little bit when we were doing the pregame show. You've got a good number of Hog fans. I'll already give Arkansas fans credit. I'm always willing to do that. But, Tommy, you've got a good number of Arkansas fans that are here in Chapel Hill today.
Yeah, so hopefully treated a good one. You said the weather's great. So what needs to go right for Connor Nolan in this game today, Ty?
I mean, for Connor, you just got to find the strike zone, and he didn't find it when he was called in relief in Stillwater. But that was a combination of just the innings he pitched early on. He did find it that first game. North Carolina's got some talented hitters that have gotten hot. We've kind of spoken to how Arkansas caught on fire last weekend in Stillwater. North Carolina had an interesting kind of setup. They, at one point, I was talking to some fans yesterday, they didn't think they were going to make postseason play at one point. All of a sudden, they win the ACC tournament. They get hot down the stretch, and now they're hosting as a national seed. So, Tommy, that's kind of what Arkansas has walked into a team, and we keep saying, well, Arkansas's hot after Stillwater. Well, it's not exactly like this team is cold either. You're one of the 16 remaining teams left, so Connor's got to find the strike zone, not get behind the count, and hopefully just have some balls go his way. Don't let the right field, Tommy, is very short, which plays to Arkansas's advantage with so many left-handed batters. So for Arkansas is fielding and stuff, just have rock-solid fielding like you did last week, and there's a good chance Connor gets out of here with a win today.
For the approach from the mound towards three different North Carolina batters will be interesting today. Vance Honeycutt, Mac Horvath, and Alberto Osuna, all three have 18 or more home runs this year, 18, 20, and 24 when looking at their season stats. Tom mentioned these guys yesterday because all three have over 53 RBI on the season. Those are the bats in the lineup you got to watch out for today. Honeycutt, Horvath, and Osuna, 7, 10, and 21 are their numbers. You better be careful with those guys. They've also got three guys none of those guys bat over 300. There's three more guys in their batting order that bat over 300 on the year. So that speaks to that short porch you said, but also got to be aware, and I'm sure there's a good game plan for those bats to not let the ball leave the yard.
We saw Hagen Smith come in and close out the Cowboys last weekend. Now, Dave told us after the game that Hagen in the fall, there was possibility of him being able to close out, and now that is something that you've asked, and some of the other Arkansas fans and Morning Rush listeners have asked. Brady Tygert's been nails all season long. I don't expect that to change. I know it changed up a little bit when he threw Nolan in there with a chance to close out the Cowboys, but I think that you're going to see, assuming Connor gives some good solid innings, maybe they have a setup guy for Brady, and then Brady comes in to close it out. But maybe that changes a little bit. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see on that. But that is a fascinating thing. It's like Dave's got all these scenarios through his head. Does he change any of the pitching rotation that we've seen him really stick to for a good latter half of the back end of the season? Does that change in Chapel Hill today?
Yeah, and we'll see it. Have you seen a lineup card yet? I was just scrolling through Twitter. I do see it here. So I see Arkansas's lineup. They'll go with pretty much what we've seen. Webb, Slavens, and Wallace, 1, 2, 3 in the order. Turner will bat fourth, which has been kind of the order here. Lanzilli, Moore, followed by Battles, Stovall, Gregory, and then, of course, Connor Nolan starting. So that's the starting lineup today for the Razorbacks.
Yeah, it's same up, and I think Bob was the one that asked Dave yesterday if there's any changes and didn't think there was going to be. So, I mean, you got what you needed to last week, and so I don't have to say that he won't make adjustments at some point during this Super Region. I think Phil was the one that might have been speculated that you might see Kendall Diggs in a situation. I don't. He's more the one that you can hear for that, and again, you'll get a chance to hear from Phil and Bubba in about 9 minutes or so when they start the Learfield pregame. So that is something else. We've talked a lot about the pitching, what Dave's got to do with that. So what else could you potentially see with lineups and maybe a pinch hitter here and there? That's something else that you might want to be keeping an eye on if you're an Arkansas baseball fan as well. Do
you have the North Carolina lineup by chance yet? Or I was just looking through Twitter. I hadn't seen it, but did of course see the Arkansas one. So be interested to see some of these bats we just mentioned where they will fit into their lineup for the Tar Heels.
Pull up the social media account for them if they've got it up. Doesn't look like they have it up, Tommy. So I don't have. I guess I can pull up the stat broadcast and look it up real quick. But you mentioned three of the big backs that Arkansas is going to have to pay attention. And I'm forgetting there was a play. You know, it was really intriguing yesterday. There was a player, and I'm forgetting who it was, but he got asked, so who was one of your favorite or second favorite teams growing up, and he said it was Arkansas, and he rattled off like 6 or 7 guys. He's like, yeah, that was always my second favorite team is the Arkansas Razorbacks. And here is a kid that is from – I don't remember if he's directly from North Carolina, but he's kind of from this part of the United States, and he's starting to rattle off like guys from Casey Martin to a bunch of other players. You're like, man, this guy knows his stuff. So the Arkansas brand, we've talked about it before. The baseball brand continues to grow, and when it's reaching to the far eastern side of the United States, you know you've got something special. Yeah. And I've got it up now if you want it.
Yeah. Just run through it for us real quick.
You've got Angel Zarate hitting leadoff, Mac Horvath, who you mentioned in the 2 slot, Danny Soretti, 3 slot, Vance Honeycutt, who you also mentioned at 4, Alberto Osuna at 5, at 6, Mickey Medaj, Thomas Frick at 7, Hunter Stokely at 8, Colby Wilkerson at 9, and then Max Carlson's their pitcher. They've got 2 good pitchers. Now, Coach Forbes said yesterday if they make it to a third game, he doesn't know who he's going to start, but they're 2 pitchers. He does have a pretty good idea of his first 2 guys that are going to be in games 1 and 2.
Yeah, no surprise there. You said Carlson today. It'll be Brandon Schaefer tomorrow.
Correct.
They've each started 17 games on the year. ERAs of 3.61 for today's starter, Max Carlson. Tomorrow, Schaefer has a ERA of 3.73. Schaefer's record's a little better at 7-3. Carlson has a record of 4-2. He's only went 72 innings in those 17 starts, meaning averaging just over 4 innings an outing. Has given up 34 runs on 64 hits, 29 of those runs earned, walked 36 while striking out 84. He has given up 9 home runs on the year, so that will be who Arkansas needs to get off to a good start with here in about 35 or 40 minutes. And you can hear the game here on most of these stations and at hitthatline.com. Our coverage in Chapel Hill brought to you by Oaklawn Racing Casino Resort, Crane Kia of Fayetteville, and North Arkansas Regional Medical Center.
Phil Elson, Bubba Carpenter coming up next on the Learfield pregame. We'll be with you after the Arkansas baseball game on all these radio stations and hitthatline.com. We are live from Chapel Hill, getting ready for the Super Regional. Do the Hogs have what it takes to go to Omaha? We'll find out in about 30 minutes.
What do you get when you pull into Tony's Tire Service? You get the best